Yep, welcome to Nostalgia, the Nostalgia Show. This is, of course, on the Hitman Radio Music channel, which I gotta change up to the talk hour. Well, not hour, the talk show. Anyways, yeah, so that's Lavender Town in the background, I guess you can't hear. I'm just talking over it because I feel like it, but there we go. But anyways, I've had this idea, and I wanted to do it to celebrate 50 followers, but now we're on 51. So I can't really do that, but let's just pretend this, was pre-recorded for 51. Anyways, so basically what I wanted to do was celebrate nostalgia of, see, I wasn't bored, because of the video game ages. Yes, I know people have done video game ages, but I wanted to celebrate the fact that I may not be in the first generation of gaming, it may not be in the second generation of gaming, but I want to say that I was in one of the first generations of gaming, like, of true gaming, because, I mean, anybody who's under, well, 14, and, well, no. Anybody who's not older than 13, soon to be 14, because my birthday is on January 21st, or I mean 5th, but anybody was born before January 25th, 1999, basically, they weren't born, or I mean after, they weren't in the nostalgia age whatsoever, really. I mean, cause, like, what I'm talking about is, everybody remembers the original Zelda, right? Well, I wasn't born then, but, right around where, like, but I was still born on video games, basically. But, I was born on Nintendo. I know, I mean, it's sad, because I kind of don't really like Nintendo anymore. I mean, but I remember when I was really little, I got a GameCube, and that was the shit for me, cause I can't remember if I got a Game Boy or a GameCube first, but I remember playing with GameCube so much, cause, I think one of the first games I got for it, was, Super Mario Party 7. Yeah, it was, I mean, I know the game Super Mario Party 7, but, anyways, that was one of the first games I got for it, and, I know, it's sad, because if you go back and play it, like, I don't even know what Super Mario Party we're on now, but anyways, like, if you go back and play it, you'll probably not think much of it, but, I think a lot of it, because of the fact that, well, I think I spent over 100 hours on that game, only because of the fact that I was really little, but, like, I unlocked everything in that game. I unlocked everything. I even got that little, GameCube, microphone thing that you can get for it, for the speaking parts. I know I'm that lame, but, yeah, that game was really good. I mean, I just remember going around just playing that. It was basically a board game with a ton of, like, mini things, but I just remember spinning the dice, all that great shit. Yeah, that was amazing time for me. It seriously was. And it's sad, though, because, I mean, see, I mean, for some people, it's really easy to go back and play old games, like, any time, really, and love the nostalgia, but, that's because they're older. Oh, sorry, I got up, like, at 7. I know it's been 2 hours, but still. Anyways, some people, like, can easily do that, but that's because they're older. Because real nostalgia is, like, back in the NES or Nintendo, or, in the Nintendo Entertainment System ages, or the Super Nintendo, ages, or even the Atari 2700. I'm not even gonna go in the rest of them. But, like, for me, it's kind of hard, because I don't have any of those systems, so I never really played those. But the one game I remember the most is Pokemon. Sadly, the first Pokemon game I was growing up on was Pokemon Ruby, so I was born up on the 4th generation of Pokemon. And if any of you try to correct me saying, no, that was the 3rd generation, you're forgetting about Gold and Silver. Because Gold and Silver were the 2nd generation. Anyways, yeah, so I was born on Pokemon Ruby, basically, like for Pokemon, because I remember spending like 72 hours on that game. But the thing was, I only got a week to rent it, because I used to rent games back then, so I only had a week to rent it, and I had 72 hours in that game. I know it's really sad, but like, remember, I was like 6 at the time or something. But then once that week was up, I never really got to rent that again. Maybe I did. I don't know. But I remember getting. I don't know. That was a really good game. But no. Now that I look back at it, it was terrible. But the fact that it was Pokemon for me, and that's really all I needed at the time. Because, well, I don't know. But anyways, the really memorable one was Pokemon Fire Red. I still have that game today, and I started playing it again because after the tornado we had in March, yeah, and if you live in Michigan, you heard about the Dexter tornadoes back in March that like destroyed half of a subdivision, and then that was the main one. But then there was another one that happened in the country of it that I know it's hard to say, but it started on our front yard. But yeah. But anyways, so once we were unpacking one day, I just remember finding Pokemon Fire Red, the cartridge, because I'd been looking for it. Because I remember I got so sad when I lost it, because I was like looking everywhere. And again, that was like when I think that was when I was 8 or 9. So it'd been a really long time since I'd seen this game. But then, and I lost my Game Boy. Well, no, my Game Boy stopped working in 2008 or something, because the backlight screen, you'd have to basically bend the screen all the way back on the Game Boy. I miss those days. Anyways, so when I found it, and I had a DS Lite, yeah, because I didn't want any of those new ones, like the DSi or the 3DS. I mean, really, the DS Lite was as far as Nintendo should have gone, because I miss a C-stick. Give me another C-stick, and then I'll start liking you again, Nintendo. I don't want any of this. I mean, like, anyways, so let's get back to Pokemon. That game was amazing. Pokemon Fire Red, and even if you don't like Pokemon, if you were raised on that game, you would like Pokemon even a little just because of that game. I mean, I know people like at school, because I started playing it again, like start to ridicule. Well, that's not the only thing they ridicule me about, but that's the next thing they started ridiculing me on. Yeah. But anyways, that game was amazing. Let's get on the next part of my nostalgia, because I've already spent up like around 10 minutes. Okay. The next thing I was going to talk about, the reason why I'm one of the first generation gaming, not just because of Pokemon, because, well, I was in the technically I was in the 3rd generation of gaming, because of the 3rd edition Pokemon. But anyways, okay. But one of the main reasons is because of when I was really young, I played The Legend of Zelda Wind Waker. Yeah, that game if you haven't played it, well, now will probably be really hard to play it. Like, I mean, it's not going to be hard to get, but it'd be really hard to play it in general. Because I never beat it. Because I remember there was this one boss that I could just never beat. But yeah, that game was amazing, honestly. It just drove me crazy, because it was just an amazing ass game. I mean, I can't really remember that much about it, though, which is sad. But I just remember having so much fun in that game. I mean, nobody's even listening to this right now. And if you are, leave a message in the chat room. But I know nobody's listening. But anyways, that game, I just love that game. But the thing about that is, but that may not have been, well, actually, I should have corrected myself. That may not be one of the reasons. But one of the reasons is because Ocarina of Time Master Quest. I was one of the first people to play Ocarina of Time Master Quest. Oh, what the hell? Yeah. God, my microphone just went like, bruh. Anyways, I was one of the first people to play Ocarina of Time. Damn it, it's doing it again. Damn. Yeah. Whatever. I was one of the first people to play Ocarina of Time Master Quest. Because that was pre-order only. For Legend of Zelda Wind Waker. Because I remember playing I remember playing Ocarina of Time a while ago, because one of my uncles had an NES with Ocarina of Time, or I can't remember if it was an NES or an N64, but yeah, I remember beating that game. It was fun. You gotta remember Navi. God, annoying little prick. Anyways, so yeah, but Ocarina of Time Master Quest, that brought good old days, cause that was hard. That was hard. I mean, God. But if you ever played that game, Ocarina of Time, never play it on the DS. It ruins the entire thing. Honestly. So, I mean, I tried it on the DS. It's terrible. It's just terrible. And plus, one of the main things you used in it was the C-Stick. You don't have that anymore. You don't have a C-Stick anymore. So again, Nintendo, I will never buy another Nintendo system unless it has a C-Stick on it. I'm seriously, I will never buy another Nintendo game unless it has a C-Stick, or not game system, unless it has a C-Stick on it, because any true gamer knows, I mean, other than the Wii, because I got the Wii on day one, but let's get back to that later. Any true gamer knows the games aren't complete without a C-Stick. It's not a true Nintendo game without a C-Stick. Because the Wii, well, no, the nunchuck didn't count. That was the only stick the Wii had. Unless you count that bonus thing, but I don't. But yeah, any true gamer knows the C-Stick is where it's at when it comes to Nintendo. But let's get back to the Wii. Let's move on to the Wii, I guess. Seeing as how this isn't going to be a full hour or half an hour broadcast, because I'm running out of stuff to say. But let's get to the Wii. As many of you know, the Wii used to be really big. Now it's the Wii U. I like to call it the Wii bullshit. But the Wii used to be really big. I think it came out in 2009. But still, I got that on day one. I think it was one of the first things I started to cry about, like, of joy.